Yeah, I don't know what it is. YouTube is still kind of messing stuff up. So I obviously did a live stream or tried to set up a live stream, but it didn't give me like the typical options that it normally does. So anyways, today on COVID and Coffee from RC Guy Garage, we're actually going to be, I guess, just prepping the DC1 crawler and just saying, hey, what's up? And I still got to make myself a cup of coffee, but that'll be coffee number 2, I think, for today. But yeah, we're just in here just a little bit early. I think I set it for like 10:45, but when I went to cook it didn't. I don't know. It just didn't give like the options that I was used to seeing. So I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if. Yeah, be quiet, you. Anyways, need your coffee too? What's going on, Rosemary? Build it, break it, fix it. What's going on, guy? Flying Fortress. So after seeing on the Facebook channel a couple of like little crawler things, I decided that I was going to take my DC1 and take it back out because I like it. I like this little crawler. I've done a few videos on it. I think I should maybe at some point electrify it, you know, give it some lights and whatever. It's still dirty from the last time I took it out. Not hugely, but it's still kind of grungy looking. But anyways, COVID and coffee. I'm just going to dive straight in right now and just start doing a couple of things. I think what I was going to do is, I think I was going to rob the wheels off of my my Gen 7. Only because they're already weighted. So, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to try. So anyways, yeah, let's just get into it. So this is HoBao DC1. As far as a crawler goes, I think for some reason, beyond anything else, I like the styling of this particular truck. I like the blue color. I've got a ton of upgrades for this thing. I like the fact also that it's got a 2-speed transmission. There's lots of metal in this. Some of the HoBao upgrades that I do have for this thing are actually really nice looking. I don't like the fact that the body pins are so tiny, but I guess it keeps it kind of minimal, I guess. But it's a nice little crawler. It's got an interior. It's kind of weird. I think I've got to like readjust and do a couple of things to the inside, but it does have a pretty much, I guess, like I guess you'd call that a full interior. And then obviously with this brace coming through, it looks like it almost has like a crash bar in a sense, or rollover bar. The battery strap I'm not too fond of. We do run this on LiPo setup. Does have a Dean's. I forget what amperage it is. I think it's like a 60 amp ESC, I believe. Obviously, it's running, you know, a nice good size brushed motor. We've got metal drive shafts. Well, metal, at least, intermediate shaft between the transmission and then obviously the 2-speed gearbox that's there. I do actually have, now this does have metal universals, kind of in a sense, with plastic drive shafts. I do have, you know, all metal parts to replace that. I was maybe thinking about putting my portal axles on this. I'm not sure about that, but we do have a CNC frame, front bumper attachment. I think we do, well, we're supposed to have a rear bumper one. I don't know where the rear bumper one is, but we do have metal skid pads that are going on here, or rock rails, or whatever you want to call them. But I think right now, like I said, I think I want to just swap out the tires from my, well, you can see I already did that. The only thing about this was this tire is, in my opinion, this tire is just way too massive. This tire right here. I do like the beadlock style, but the tire itself, it's too thin and too tall. I actually like the stock tires. So the only unfortunate thing is the stock tires are glued, so it's not like I can just peel them off very easily. These are the tires actually off of my Gen 7, which can't tell if this is the spare or if this is one of the weighted ones. But who we got in the chat anyway? Who else? Oh, Earl Moorhead. What's going on, guy? Coffee time. You could use a cup. We'll go get it. Drift to the Raff is here. What's going on, man? Jack Jr. Brazier. Strip Gears. What's going on, guy? Or Strip Gear. Jack, wait a minute. Is that the crawler on? Yeah, I know, guy. It is. It is. I just, I've been seeing people run crawlers. And at the time when I did run this thing, I actually did have a good time running it. So, I'm not against crawlers. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just. Yeah, so no, that's not one of my weighted wheels. So, this right here, this is obviously my modified Gen 7. That's my crawler. Yeah, I know. People don't realize I actually do have crawlers. I do. I technically have, how many crawlers do I have? I have 4 crawlers, even though I'm not a crawler guy. This is my Gen 7 that I have modified myself. Obviously changed out the transmission, steel gears, slipper clutch, steel drive shafts. Took care of the front differential, rear differential, shocks are stock. Basically everything else is stock. I did 3D print up a servo, a frame-mounted servo tray just because that's what I wanted. I actually do have metal bumpers and like all this other crazy stuff for that. And then I obviously have this thing right here, which this I bought in pieces, and I started building this, and I just lost, I don't know, I just lost steam on it. This is that crazy metal bumper that it's got. It was just, I don't know, it was just for looks. It's got some crazy drive shaft angle right there, but it is functional, which is absolutely insane. It almost seems as though it does need to drop a little bit. So that's the only issue that I have with that. Yeah, I don't know. Even at full droop, it still does. It is a crazy drive shaft angle. It surprisingly does not bind. I don't know if you can see that. See that angle? Surprisingly, it does not bind. So. But let's take the wheels off of this, and I want to weigh a stock wheel versus, so a stock HoBao wheel versus a stock Gen 7 tire and wheel configuration, and then what these ones are is these are weighted. So I want to show you the difference in stock, and then weighted, because this, like I said, this was my modified one. So all right. Good to see that Earl is doing better. All right, where are we here? So obviously I'm taking the wheels off of this thing because these are the wheels I'm going to swap out to. And yes, I did go with red wheel nuts on this just because. And I probably will switch to the red just on that because I like to be different, I guess. Also, this was the Gen 7 Pro. So this did come with obviously the metal hexes, all that good stuff. But I'll do that. Strip gear, does this mean we are going to see you open? Oh, guy. You know, probably. I can't say for a definite. Yeah, it's hard for me, man. I'm just not a crawler. And what's crazy is I own 4. And I think once I get out there, it's all right. It's just not. It's just all right, I guess. I think that's part of the problem. Is that I feel like it's just, it's all right. You know what I mean? I'm not, like I said, I'm not opposed to crawling. I'm not. I'm not as enthusiastic, I guess, as some other people. RC Rorschach, good morning. What's going on with you, guy? Who else is here? Did I miss anybody else? What? Cam Road Drone? Let's go. Oh, right. Japan. Wow, that's crazy. All the way from Japan. That's insane. I don't know why it still amazes me. It just does. I'm very simple in my thinking. You know what would be cool? Because I've got crawlers, what would be cool is to get my wife involved in crawling. Maybe at that point, then it would be more fun. I think I already know what car she would like, which is crazy to think about this. I think she would like a Limitless. Only because she's always, as a kid, she liked the F1 cars. She used to draw them when she was a kid, so. At some point, I got to do an unboxing. It's on the Hyper VT from HoBao. The plan is to do that unboxing today because we are supposed to get some rain. That's also the reason why I'm setting up the crawlers, is because I hope to get out there during a nice rainstorm. We had a torrential rainstorm just yesterday or something like that, the day before yesterday or whatever it was. And when you film a crawler in the rain and slow down the footage, it definitely changes. It changes things because it just gives a nice effect. And now that I bought a subscription to that Epidemic Sound thing, hopefully I can put on some better, well, not better, just a different variety of music now, in the background and whatever. So, but let's continue getting those wheels off here. All right, so this was that crawler wheel that I ended up switching out to just for a temporary situation. I decided I'm not going to go with this tire just because it's just way too big. At least for this vehicle, it does not fit. Where I feel that the see, this has plastic hexes. I'm going to leave that alone for now with the plastic hexes. But like I said, we'll do a stock for stock kind of thing. It looks like I'm missing a wheel nut. Yeah, I think I'm missing a wheel nut. Super Drake, what's going on, guy? You need a rock. I actually do. So every rock that I find in my property, I put it in one specific area in the backyard track. I don't know if you've seen. There's like a pile of rocks there. Granted, it's getting overgrown with brush and stuff right now, but I can very easily clear that out. So I do have areas that I can crawl. I've been kind of doing it. I'm not as motivated, you know what I mean? You are as I am a basher, right? So, all right, that's it. These are the weighted wheels. I'll clean them out too. I'll get the junk out of them. This is totally stock right here. This one's stock, and all 4 of these other ones are weighted. Kent's RC, what's going on, guy? I'm telling you, it point blank would not be my channel without a dump out. Absolutely ridiculous that the thing just dumped out. Here I am talking away to a blank screen. All right, so here's my gram scale. Stock HoBao wheel. I don't know how you're going to be able to see that. How are you going to see that? Maybe go like something like that. What I should do is use the zoom feature. Alright. So I'm going to zoom in on the scale just so you can see the number. So we will put it on. So here's a stock HoBao wheel. So 169.6. Here is a stock Redcat Gen 7 tire and wheel configuration. So right away, obviously, the HoBao is heavier, which is nicer for crawling. And then here's my modified wheel, which is my Gen 7 modified wheel. Coming in at 197. Let's see what this one is. This one has more dirt on it. 204. 197. I could tell that one was heavy with the dirt. 196. So this one just has dirt on it, which is why it's heavier. And then this wheel, which all this was just a inexpensive tire that seemed to have some good compression. It's a little bit too big for this particular crawler, but it might be good for the actual Gen 7. And that comes in at, for me, that comes in too light. So I'll probably end up doing that same thing that I did. Well, maybe I won't. I don't know. Maybe we'll do it and see what happens. These wheels right here, though, the reason why they are almost 200 is because what I did is I had broken these wheels down and I actually wrapped the inside with lead. So I had lead for windows and doors, the thresholds, or the threshold of the door. And what I did is I cut it in strips and I wrapped the wheels. And the reason why this one weighs more is just because it's packed with dirt, and I don't think it has water in it. And then after I did that, I re-drilled all the holes so you could still get a real nice, good compression. These tires, for stock, for me, and again, I'm not a crawler, these work really, to me, they work great. And here's a question I have for you. When you have a tire like this, I suppose you should still run it in that directional way, shouldn't you? Because I believe I do have these all set up in a directional pattern. Right? Yes, I do. So I did put them together correctly. I did set them up for that directional pattern so that, I don't know, does it really matter? Like, think about it. If you're crawling, does it really matter which way you have the wheels, the tires? Does it really matter? I feel like I'd want to have it go that way for crawling. For some reason, I feel like the way the lugs would grab on the edge would more bite. Do you know what I'm saying? Where if it's this way, I feel like it has more of a tendency to slip off instead of bite. So you know what I'm going to do? Because I like to do things different, I am going to put it in reverse. That seems to make more sense. It just feels like chainsaw. They work just as right. I just feel like they would bite better this way, running them backwards. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to clean them up with my brush. Not that it really matters, but... Sometimes I'm struggling with wanting to get my wife involved with it because, you know, not everybody's involved with this kind of stuff, and I don't know. I do need some speed cars, so I guess if I got her a Limitless, if she didn't like it, guess it would be mine. I'd rather it not be that way. But I do have to get back to doing some speed ripping. Like, that HoBao Hyper VT is supposed to be a pretty quick car. So I guess we're going to find out. Pigeon Kicker, what's going on, guy? What camera am I using to stream right now? Kent, I'm using my Note 8. Why, does the quality look all right or no? One Harley, what's going on, guy? Like the right. Well, she actually did enjoy the Max. I think it was just inevitably what I actually believe happened was her not feeling well was not making her want to, I guess, have that kind of enjoyment. You know what I mean? She just wasn't feeling good. So I think that may have had or may have played a part in it. I'm just going to go with that. I think that might be what it is. It sounds good anyway. And I was also thinking about taking out the ground pounder too. The ground pounder needs air in its wheels. So I'm going to use the red nuts that I've got here just because I like them. I'll even switch the back tire too. Looks like it's some junk in there. Surprisingly, this thing has been, with all the stuff that I've done to this thing, I'm very surprised that it's still holding on extremely well. So like I said, I am going to reverse it. Wow, look how much that thing weighs that thing down. Can understand not wanting to walk around. Right. Right. Absolutely, Earl. Yep. That's, like I said, that's what I'm kind of chalking it up to, because when she was ripping her max, when I saw her face and how much enjoyment she actually was having, that was awesome. I loved seeing her have that much fun. It was cool. And like I said, I don't even think she realized she was having that much fun. Well, I mean, I know she did, but just seeing the look on her face, and when she was doing like wheelies and stuff, she kept on doing the reverse wheelies with the Traxxas Max, with her Max. Now, the only thing about these is the HoBao wheels definitely seem to have a different offset. It just looked like a thicker, more meatier tire, you know? But I'm thinking these tires will work just fine. Look back what I was telling you about the tires. Did you put my name on it so I can find it? Riffraff. And definitely don't use stock memory foam, way too stiff. What, on these? You talking about these? These, I actually, to be quite honest with you, it's with the weight of this DC1, and even with the weight of my Gen 7, it made a incredible difference adding the lead weights to all four corners, because it gave the truck a more planted, I mean, what do I know? I don't know what I'm talking about, but it definitely gave the truck a more planted feeling. And also some of the metal upgrades. Obviously, I did weight down the truck as well. I think that might be what you're talking about. I'm not sure. But again, I'm not a crawler, so I have no idea. I just know that, you know, my Gen 7 does operate pretty good, considering, in my opinion, for someone that's not a crawler kind of guy. When she jumped that center dirt island, oh, dude, it was awesome. She had a blast. She totally had a blast. I think we need to go back out there. That was a good time. And I even can change out the back wheel. Oh no, it's a screw? Ah. Why is it a screw? That's just not as cool. Well, you know what? Well, yeah, the stock tire that I've got is actually less weight, isn't it? So maybe that won't be a problem. Oh, the foam in the Gen 8. Oh, okay. So the foam in the Gen 8 is junk? Oh, that's interesting. Almost need like a washer for this. I was trying to tell you the Hydrax is much better crawler tire than the stock tires. Way better traction and foam if you weigh them are even better. What's a Hydrax? A Hydrax is the tire that comes on the Gen 8? Is that what you're saying? Because these things are called IROX or IROC something. Super Swamper IROX. I think I need a washer. Oh, Proline. Well, again, I mean, with this probably isn't going to be a thing. I know it's supposed to torrential downpour later, so I figured what better way than to maybe get out a crawler and get some good footage, going through some muddy situations, drowning it, crawling in the trail. I do actually enjoy this thing. To be honest with you, I really do. Like I said, I do have fun with it. All the links are all stainless. Like, a lot about this truck, they put a certain amount of effort into it that, I mean, even has a heat sink up at the front here that's attached to the front of the motor. It's like the things like that, you know? The fact that when I do take this thing off-road, it really, like, when you saw that video that I did, it really doesn't get much junk inside this truck. You know? It does really, really well. For a crawler. In my opinion. Because I'm not a crawler. I'm not a crawler guy. But I definitely don't mind someone teaching me or learning. Now I need a battery for this thing. I was thinking my 8000, my 3S pack. Or should I just run it on 6S? 6S guy. Got my Ovonic packs, I just don't know where they are. That's not a good thing. 5200. I've got my 8000 somewhere. Yeah, this pack right here. This pack should do pretty good in this car. 8000, 3S. Even though I'm now more organized, I still cannot find stuff. This organization stuff just does not work. 95% battery. So I'm just going to top it off. This thing's been sitting for like a month, I think, at 95%. Ovonic makes a good battery. You can set it and forget it. Billy Bob would die in this weather. Jon Snow, you've got a DC1? Do you have upgrades for your DC1? I literally have just about every upgrade for this thing. I just have to find the time to install it all. I like the DC1 myself. There's a difference between a crawler and a trail truck? What's the difference? I'm assuming a trail truck can go faster, right? Guilt overwhelms Earl. No, it's still original? Well, this is pretty much, this is all original too. Well, except for that piece. But I've got a ton of upgrades for this thing. Obviously, I just switched over to my Gen 7 wheels, modded wheels, so. I know nothing about crawling, can't even... Come on, guy, you put out crawler videos. What are you talking about? I know nothing about crawling, but here you are putting out crawler videos. The heck are you talking about, guy? You crawl. You crawl. I've seen videos of you crawling. It's maybe a different type of crawl, and there might be a lot of associated with I think sometimes you used to hang out with Billy Bob a little bit too much. They are just RC trucks driving around. Oh, I didn't even put the thing on charge. Yeah, the battery's like pretty much topped off. I just gotta, and it's gonna, just gonna top off the battery so we can get the best experience out of this HoBao DC1. This thing is mint. It's gonna look funky with those wheels, won't it? Actually, it doesn't look bad. Wow. It actually looks good. Oh, nice. Now that is like, now see, this is what I like about this DC1. Right now, right, with the way this DC1 operates its suspension, that shock, literally, it gets all the way bottomed out up into the wheel. It's not even touching the wheel well yet, but it gets bottomed out all the way up, and that's the only reason why this back wheel starts to lift. Is because it's totally maxed out on its shock. That is something that, you know what, man? Just seeing it like this right now, it's making me get pumped up to go out and crawl. Just because I like the suspension articulation. That is sick. Look at that. It's only because the shock bottomed out in the front is the reason why we're now lifting. I like this DC1, man. I really do. Yup. My DC1. Oh, wait a minute. Was my body not all the way on? Oh, close enough. Looks like the battery's almost fully charged. Almost feel like, you know what? Do I want to lift the body up one notch? Yeah, I wonder if I want to lift the body up one click. Nah, it doesn't rub, man. It actually does not rub now. So with this set of tires and wheels, now it's not rubbing. With these, because these are a little bit fatter, it would always rub on the on the fender guards. Oh, this is going to be better. Earl, you're going to have to get a DC1 and go crawling with me, man. It's not my style. The DC1 is cool. It really is. I like the styling of this truck because it looks like a few other vehicles. It's not obviously a licensed body, but it's HoBao. It's a HoBao design. Like it just looks cool. And that's point blank. That's why I like it, man. Right, it is a good quality truck. The old school RCs are crawlers to me as they go slow. It all depends. What do you mean by old school? Like you talking about old school from like the 70s and the 80s? Yeah, maybe then. But I've got a JRX Pro that went 56.2 in the 90s, like 91. That wasn't too bad. That wasn't slow. That's only a 110 scale too. I know you do, but I know you have all that stuff, but you don't have a HoBao yet. You know, you might like this. Or you might like another one that we talked about. We'll see. Justin Brown. Yeah, you know, 56.2, that really wasn't that bad. And you were running on NiCads, I had cut brushes. You know, it's just, Yeah, technology has definitely changed. Made it so it's so much better now. But as far as upgrades for this thing, where are my upgrades? Right here, I've got a whole ton of upgrades. So I've obviously got a whole ton of wheels for it, different types of wheels. I've got the metal skid plate for it to replace the plastic one, which is that right there. I've got the upgraded spring set to which I don't even see why it needs it, but it's the upgraded springs. I got the alloy or CNC rock slides for that. I've got the all metal drive shafts. We've got the all metal shock towers, the CNC shock towers for it. We got the front and rear diff covers, which are also metal, just adding just that little bit more down low weight. I've got, what is this part? Oh, the CNC link for the chassis rail. The CNC links for the axle housings. This is the back side of the cover or front side, depending upon what you're which way you're talking about. But it definitely adds that nice heft to the rear end or the front end. What else do we got? I think I got the I think I got a grill piece in here too. Oh, these are the blue links. Now these added more heft to the links that are currently in there. It's just a heavier link. And then somewhere I have the grill. It's a CNC grill and nameplate and everything. Not sure where that is now. But yeah, got a couple upgrades for this thing. Oh, even the CNC shock caps. So just a couple upgrades for this thing. Eventually, the thing is that it runs so well in its stock configuration. How does HoBao compare to mainstream companies such as ARRMA and Traxxas? Part support is going to be internal. There are companies that are making parts for HoBao as upgrades, but HoBao usually comes out with their own upgrades, kind of like what Traxxas does. I don't know how to say it. It's weird because I've seen people complain about parts support, but I have never had problems with parts support, other than right now where, you know, everybody is having problems with parts support. But you got people in Australia and on the opposite side of the planet that have zero issue getting parts because hobby companies actually supply and stock HoBao stuff in their stores, where over here, for some reason, they don't. Even though we do have a warehouse over here, which is primarily where I get all of my HoBao stuff, is directly from the U.S. warehouse. On occasion, I'll get a couple of parts from HoBao that are actually from Taiwan. So those parts take a while, but those are different kind of parts. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Certain things are standard. You know, you can swap out with different companies to different things. You can obviously swap out axles if you wanted to put a different set of axles in it. But as far as I think like part support upgrades from like what, RPM and whoever else, even T-Bone makes crash stuff for HoBao too. So I don't know. I like HoBao because I think it's a good company and I like their stuff. I like, not all of it. So some of it has issue, but we're working through that. I like my HoBao crawler better than my Gen 7. Maybe one of these days I'll know what the Gen 8 is like. The Axe Edition Gen 8. I don't know. Maybe one of these days. Obviously, you know that I love my EPX. That's my HoBao EPX right there. That thing is absolutely awesome. Love that thing. This thing I have a little bit of issue with, I think because I'm too hard on it. That's my TT. Obviously up there, I've got my HoBao Hypersport Plus, which I absolutely love. I'm just, again, working with a couple of stupid braking issues, which I'm pretty sure we're away now. And then my Beast truck, which I've got to put that thing back together. That's my HoBao Hyper MT Plus 2. That thing is what I call Old Faithful. I've done a couple videos, well, I've done more than a couple videos on that thing. That thing flies on dirt. It flies through the air. It crashes so well, even when you're purposely crashing it. I think the last video I did for it was point blank, really just crashing it, just showing how resilient that truck was or is. So that's my answer to that. As far as specifics on upgrades, I really don't know. Hey, Riff Raff. Yeah. You're deleting too many comments by accident. So Riffraff is having issues with his touchscreen device. So if your comments are getting deleted, he's not doing it on purpose. It's just his touchscreen is very touchy. What is ARRMA's new RC going to be? Nothing. Coronavirus is literally killing everything. It's just hampering, I think, the efforts of just everything. Things I think are slowly catching up, but I think it's so slow that even that's a problem. ARRMA's coming out with nothing. Oh. I'm not sure of. I'm not sure if I want my... Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I think I'll put my GoPro on this. The only thing is, I think I might want the other tripod. The other tripod sits more flat. Although I think I want a top piece to go on here. A swivel. Put the swivel on. Make sure my GoPro is actually charged. How about that one? Watch, I bet it's not even charged. Right? Of course not. But that's what this is for. Hopefully this will be able to charge this. Oh, it's acting like my GoPro not charging now? What's going on here? Yeah, that's weird. So my GoPro's not charging anymore. That's stinking interesting. Huh. What is going on with my GoPro? That is definitely not cool at all. Can't be because I have no memory card in there. So this is the first time my GoPro 7 is actually giving me a problem. All right. That's not going to be cool. Wait a minute. It's charging now. Maybe it's the wire? You're tired of waiting? Send that Gen 8X edition to me. Those things are beastly. Yeah. I don't know, man. At least it's charged now. I wonder if it is the wire. It's not taking a charge from my battery bank, which is weird, because this battery bank charges everything. Oh, no, it's taking a charge from the battery bank now. Let's see what happens now. Yes, I think it's taking a charge. Says it's taking a charge. Yeah, now it's charging. Yay! Alright, cool. Maybe I will be able to do some footage now. This is the camera mount setup that I've got. It's just a camera mount thing, whatever, clamp, C-clamp. It's on a stick. It's not the traditional thing that I do, but when I'm doing crawler stuff, I will put it on this crazy monopod that I reverse engineered. So this is a monopod where it never had a quarter thread on the bottom and it didn't have an insert in the bottom, and I installed an insert. So it turned it into this crazy long monopod selfie stick kind of reverse engineered deal. Phone will go on that. And obviously I'll have the GoPro on my low mount. Probably with the thing that this thing is using. The little swivel ball head thing. Battery's all charged up. Still charging. That's a good thing. $120 frames per second. That'll be perfect for crawling. Now put this on a low mount. That should be all right. Gonna have huge forearms with a yeah. Right. Yeah, some Arnie arms. Schwarzenegger. So since it's charging, stuff it in there, plug it back in. Hopefully it'll stay charging. Hey, look at that. At least now it's charging. Well, that's a side. Focus. I don't know what was up with it not wanting to charge, but it just was not wanting to take a charge. Seems like it's up now. was thinking at some point maybe we can throw these crawler wheels on there. What do you think? Couple tires like that. Maybe do some crawling with the with the Redcat Kaiju tires and wheels. Kaiju crawling. That is still the only thing that annoys me is this battery strap. It's such a funky setup. I think I need to get a new one. Let's make sure this still works. What the heck is that? Low battery? Why are you beeping? I wonder if that's like a low battery beep. I've never heard that beep before out of my transmitter. Wilding out. What's going on, guy? I'll grab my battery test to see what's going on with those batteries. Looking at for voltage here. Ah, could be these batteries are junk. Yeah, wow, these batteries are junk. That's what. Oh, that battery's good though. All right, so these batteries are garbage. So that's why the controller was beeping back saying those wings are junk. Must be a low voltage thing. And 1.3. 1.3. Not ideal, but still alive. 1.4. 1.45. Yeah, we'll go with these ones. So I didn't even know that that controller did that. It gives you actually an audible warning if your voltage is potentially too low. That is pretty cool. Did not even know that. I guess I've never ran the batteries low enough. think this thing should crawl. Wow, the stream is looking like junk. I just got to look at the screen. It doesn't look very good. GoPro looks like it's still charging. If I could crawl up onto that tire. Hey, man. Nice. Not too shabby. Does all right, right? That's not even totally flexed out either. Sergeant J for drag van, dude. You got it, man. Drag van, man. You just put a smile on my face. I've been dreaming about drag van. Dude, thank you for the donation. Drag van, man. I know, Sergeant J, can you believe I'm actually going to take a crawler and rip it today? You can crawl, you know, rip a crawler. At least as much as you can rip this crawler. But it does all right, right? I mean, it's not too bad. It crawled up on that tire. And that was like it's a 90-degree kind of thing. I can't even remember how to operate this thing. I can't remember what's low. Oh, I think is that low range? That's high range. There we go. Yeah. This thing does great. This thing's gonna do mint out in the trails. I don't know. All right, I'm going to get out the live stream right where it is right now. We're going to take the HoBao DC1 out for a crawler rip, which I don't know. We'll see. So keep an eye out for another boring video from RC Guy Garage. I'm hopefully going to come up with, try to make it look good. I'm going to try. I'm actually going to bring out... clip it to crawler. I've done that a few times where you can actually clip this to the crawler and get some, you know, some action shots, I guess, of the thing cruising. So it's not like it really, I don't think it really uses its stabilization feature, but maybe, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm reaching when it comes to doing footage for a crawler. I'm really reaching. So it's just, you got to record, in my mind, you got to record everything and hiding down, because a crawler going fast, slowed down, looks way better. Sergeant J, man, thank you for that drag van donation. You know where it goes. You know it, guy. Appreciate that. Right in that for today. Why does it look like it paused? Right in the chat for today, we've got Super Earl Moorhead. Let it rip in slow motion. We got Rift to the Raft with Sean Guy. Super Drake, you need a censored brushless rock racer. What? Suggest one. What do you mean? I already have my CAMO X4. It's obviously, you know, it's not censored, but it doesn't need to be. The stream is real junk. Wild and Out RC is here. Sergeant J is here. Like I said, thank you for the man. Shade Tree RC. Masked Master. Mike Jernak. What's going on, guy? I think that's it. Frank Sluggo. What's good, Candy Van? The Candy Wrap. Just to drive jail, crazy drag van. Oh my god. I can't believe you. Drag van. Rift to the raft. Drag van. Yeah, modifications to drag van already are underway. So, you realize that flipped. Already underway, man. There's no going back now. Drag van is a happening thing. There is video footage of doing some of the mods. I gotta see if I can put together a video on it. I don't know if the video is gonna come out right or not, but oh no, why did the GoPro shut off now? Okay, it shut off. It did auto shut off. Just to try to jail, crazy. I think that's about it. Earl Moorhead is here. I said that. And that looks like that's about it. So today's live stream, COVID and Coffee, relatively short edition, but it's point blank. I want to get out there and rip it. DC1 is now rocking its red wheel nuts, which I actually think look pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool with the red wheel nut. Right there. That looks pretty cool, you know? Blue body with red wheel nuts, you know? Speed takeoff wheels or something like that. But that's the HoBao DC1. Gonna take it out for a rip. Should probably shut things off. We are running it on 3S. It is brushed. It is waterproof. The only thing is I can't get to the switch. That's the negative. All right, well, I'm gonna have to take the body off to get to the switch. I gotta figure that out too. I want to place the switch into a position that's easier to get at, but still maintaining like its waterproofness. But doesn't that thing look pretty cool? I don't know, man. If I, as far as a crawler goes, that is definitely like the body style-ish that I like. It definitely, to me, it definitely just has kind of like that cool look. You can see the DC1 right there. Yeah, I like it. As far as the crawler goes, that's what I like right there. That style. So, all right. Oh, Lorm Cronish, man, you are here. I'm just about ready to end this, man. We're ending the live, COVID and Coffee. We'll go right to... Yeah, it does have a cool look to it. All right. It's already 12 o'clock. It's already 12 o'clock. And why does that Alexa keep doing that? All right. Anyways, all right. I'm out of here. You guys should get out there and rip it. Today, I'm actually going to be slow ripping it. Not permanently, though, because I do have 2 batteries for that Redcat TRMT 8E B6S. Why did they do it such a... Why did they do the name like that? I'm just going to call it the Redcat MT or something. I don't even know. I don't even know what to call it. It's a truggy. So, all right. You guys get out there and rip it. I'm going to be slow ripping it today. And thank you for coming to this COVID and Coffee. We will see you later tonight with another live from RC Guy Garage. Shop Talk and Wrench. We'll talk about what happened for the day. I'm out. You guys should get out there. And what do I always say? Just rip it. Just do it. Get out of here.